Hey guys, so in this video you're going to catch my first impression of the Nike Pegasus 37s. So this morning I went 4.38 miles, equivalent to 7K, in 38 minutes, 21 seconds. Upon opening the shoes from the box, I immediately noticed that it's much more aggressive looking. When compared to the previous model, the Pegasus 36, a men's size 10 would be going around 9.5 ounces. The shoes in the Pegasus 37s are a half an ounce heavier. I immediately noticed that the collar was a little bit overly snug because this morning I used the cinch tie method, which gives a lot more secure fit around your ankle. I might want to go ahead and give it a little bit of a looser tie for the laces, so just to see if it does anything different. Even in the first quarter mile, that the forefoot and the midsole have much more cushioning. Again, that's based on Nike putting in double the amount of cushioning, so that way there's a lot more springiness, much more durability, and according to them, to create a much more aggressive and responsive shoe. A responsive shoe it is, because just based on my splits, I wasn't trying to go fast or anything like that, but I wanted to just kind of gauge it based on the previous models I've been training with and going based on my heart rate. Now, with my current fitness level, an easy run would be about 140 beats per minute or less. That would be approximately about 9-10 minute per mile pace, and I was consistently hitting 830 to 845 pace. So I really had to kind of watch myself when it comes to going on the paces, but I mean, it really lets you know that it has the ability to just kind of move forward. On occasion, I did put in a few strides just to see how the shoe would respond and exactly how I would expect Nike to say, hey, this is a responsive shoe. It did that because I was able to go essentially from a 9:15 mile pace into an 8:30 without essentially much relative effort. It definitely has the technology within it. It is much more of a slimmer shoe because my feet are long and thin. It didn't affect me too much, but it is much more of a race style shoe compared to previous models where it tailored more to cushion, stability, and for those runners who felt like they're going to be on their feet much longer. The upper shoe is definitely a textile, but I can definitely tell in the material surrounding the Nike swoosh, there is some mesh overlay with it, so that way it can keep your feet cool and ventilated. Once I break this in a little bit more, I'll definitely be using these shoes longer towards an 8-mile run, 12 or even longer. So it definitely gives me the vibe of a race style shoe, or definitely a shoe that you could practice your faster paces with. As far as a shoe that you could use this with a marathon, I'm not exactly sure if they would hold up very well, if it would actually give you the amount of comfort needed. This is definitely a 5K, 10K, half marathon type shoe for sure. Definitely a daily trainer because based on his name goes towards speed and durability. So, and again, I own the 35 and I own the 36. And just based on those two models alone, you can easily expect these shoes to last much more than 500, 600, 700 miles. Just again, depending on how you use them and how much rest you give them inside your rotation. So I have no question that these shoes definitely have the ability to withstand potentially 700, 800 miles on your feet. I mean, just by giving it the squeeze test, I mean, it definitely is sturdy. It will keep your feet together. So it is definitely a shoe that will keep you in place. I tried to put in a few drills that would test its ability to handle turns and curves along the street. Now one I might have to put a little bit more testing into, because I did feel my ankle slightly roll just a little bit. So if you find yourself going on a course or on a running trail that would involve a lot of sharp turns, this may not be the proper one for it. But again, this is a responsive shoe. So this pretty much gives me the idea that if you're thinking about going long, going fast, and straight primarily, then this is definitely the shoe for you. Now this particular pair was gifted to me from a few weeks back for my birthday. Otherwise, you can definitely be able to get this on the Nike website under their sales section. And I believe the retail price for this would be $130, but because they're going to be unveiling presumably the 38 very, very soon, these are already being discounted down to approximately $90 to even $80 depending on the color or sizes available. You know, there's not much changes from the outside of the shoe. It definitely feels much more aggressive once you put your feet in there. So if you have a chance to go to your local running store and be able to try on a pair, you'll definitely notice just with a few steps. And I think it's definitely worth the price. Again, it definitely has a reputation of Nike, but again, there are tons and tons of reputable and similar shoes to these. What shoe do you feel as though that gives you the right balance of responsiveness, speed, durability, and of course the comfort anywhere from a short to long distance run? If you enjoyed the video and definitely want to hear more, especially as I put in closer to about 50 miles when I put in my full review, go ahead and hit the like button on the bottom of the video. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe. Again, let me know in the comments. Thank you all. Thank you very much for watching. I definitely wanted to put this out there as I'm starting to accumulate my miles. Once I'm approaching mid 40s, 50 and 60 mile weeks as I'm training for the Myrtle Beach Marathon in the beginning of May. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to continue dreaming big and continue to put in the work every single day. And together we can make the impossible possible. Thanks, and see you on the next one.